A former Dallas police officer is found guilty of murder for killing her neighbor. A pair of Kern County residents are acquitted, accused of helping a man suspected of killing an officer. And a girl continues to honor the victims from the Las Vegas October mass shooting. This is 17 News at Noon. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Alex Fisher. This morning, a jury in Dallas found a former police officer guilty of murder for the shooting death of her neighbor. And right now, Amber Geiger is set to be sentenced. Here's a live look from the courtroom. This all comes after a jury convicted her of murder.
We, the jury, unanimously find the defendant, Amber Geiger, guilty of murder as charged in the indictment.
Geiger sat for about 15 minutes before leaving the courtroom with her attorneys. The jury of 8 women and 4 men reached the unanimous decision after 1 day of deliberations. Geiger took the stand in her own defense last week, crying and shaking at times as her attorney asked her to recount the night of the shooting. Geiger shot and killed 26-year-old Botham Jean in his apartment in September 2018. Geiger says she thought she was in her apartment and that she shot Jean in self-defense. The prosecution argued Geiger made absurd and unreasonable choices that night, also arguing Geiger was distracted by salacious text messages she had been exchanging with her partner, who is married and with whom she had an affair. 2 Kern County residents accused of helping a man suspected of killing a Newman police officer hide in Kern County were acquitted. Paulo Mendoza is accused of shooting and killing Corporal Ronil Singh the day after Christmas. Officials say Erasmo Villegas Suarez and Maria Luisa Moreno helped Mendoza hide in Kern County. Both were acquitted yesterday, but both have been issued notices to appear at deportation proceedings. And in addition, Suarez faced federal fraud charges involving identification documents. He is scheduled to appear in court later this month. A man accused in a 4-month-old baby's death, found guilty of second-degree murder, was sentenced today. 4-month-old Anakin McKee died in 2017. Court documents say Daniel McKee originally told investigators he tripped while holding the baby, but later said he was frustrated by the costs of the treatments the baby needed. McKee is not the boy's biological father, and prosecutors say there's evidence he planned to kill the child.
Mr. McKee, there was evidence that he was thinking about this in January when Anakin was still in a hospital. There was a posting on his Facebook account of how do you kill a baby in a hospital. And then that night he engaged in, we don't know for sure because of the number of lies he told and the different versions of events he gave to police, but he caused traumatic brain injuries that, according to the pathologist, from the moment of infliction to essentially death would have been seconds. These were extremely brutal, horrible injuries on a defenseless child.
Last month, the jury found him guilty of second-degree murder and assault on causing child injuries. McKee was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison. It is a somber anniversary in Las Vegas and here in Kern County as well. 2 years ago today, thousands spent the day enjoying music and friends in Las Vegas at the Route 91 Harvest Music Festival. They were unaware of the tragic events that were about to unfold. Later that night, shots rang out over the Jason Aldean concert in the shadow of the Mandalay Bay Hotel. The shooting became the deadliest in modern U.S. history. 58 people were killed. More than 800 others were hurt. Witnesses say the shooting rampage lasted between 10 and 15 minutes. 62-year-old Stephen Paddock opened fire from the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino. When police finally found him in his hotel room, Paddock was dead. The massacre hit close to home. Hundreds from Kern County were at the concert in Las Vegas. Some returned home with physical wounds. Many more traumatized emotionally by what happened. But for 4 people who called Kern County home, they never made it back. 20-year-old Bailey Schweitzer of Bakersfield was the youngest person to die in the shooting. Jack Beaton was celebrating his anniversary with his wife when he was killed. Shafter High graduate Victor Link, who had since moved to San Clemente, also died in the massacre. And 28-year-old Taft resident Kelsey Meadows, a well-known substitute teacher, was also killed. Meantime, a young Nevada girl who volunteered after the mass shooting in 2017 still honors the victims from that day with her shoes. Renee Santos explains.
I knew I didn't want to wear them again.
October 1st, 2017 is the last time Sierra Soto put on these shoes.
Get ready, put on shoes, we're leaving the house.
Not knowing the impact the pair would later have on her heart.
I remember running around the concourse, trying to make sure that everybody was okay.
She was in these shoes for hours, volunteering along with her family following the 1 October shooting. 2 years later,
It's something as a community we're never going to forget.
it's still a healing process.
She was 10 at the time, so, I don't think we really thought about it at that time, what she was going to see or what she was going to experience. It was just the thought of going to help.
Sierra did a lot of helping that night.
Making sure everybody has food, has water, has somewhere to lay down and be comfortable.
Her shoes now serve as a reminder of what it means to give back, even if you're just a kid.
And I rode on them the day after Vegas Strong. And I'll keep them forever.
All right, let's take a look at your forecast now with Kevin.
What a great story. And taking you outside and 99 Airport Drive. Still construction out that way. A clear sky. And you know what? We're looking at some great temperatures today. It's going to continue. Yesterday, it was great. 71 degrees on the high. We were far from the record and even below the normal high, which is 86 this time of year. We're at 63 right now in Bakersfield under a calm wind. As we take a look at the temperatures this afternoon, we're going to inch up near 70 degrees, falling back into the 50s by midnight. Tehachapi, you're at 54 right now. You also have a little breeze. That'll continue out of the northwest at 16 currently. And you can see here hour by hour 50s and then slipping back into the chilly 30s by midnight. How long is this cool down going to last? Is there a warm up on the way? Details on that in a few minutes.
All right, Kev, thanks so much. The FBI is accusing a California tour guide of spying on the U.S. for China, and they nabbed him in an elaborate sting operation that dates back to 2015. The man is now charged with acting as an illegal foreign agent. Authorities even released video, which they say reveals a scheme to steal American intelligence from inside the country, using a potent combination of modern technology and age-old spycraft. Here's NBC's Joe Fryer.
In this Georgia hotel room, the FBI says a spy working for China was caught red-handed. The video, captured by hidden cameras, is part of an FBI sting operation. The target? 56-year-old Edward Pong, a naturalized U.S. citizen believed to be working for China's spy agency. And a newly released criminal complaint details of the 3-year-long sting read like a spy novel. The FBI reveals it used a double agent in the secret operation to take part in multiple dead drops in locations across the country, with the double agent meeting Pong in hotel rooms in Georgia and California 6 times between 2015 and 2018. Pong is accused of paying the double agent thousands of dollars in cash for classified U.S. national security information, all stored on SD cards. In this video released by the FBI, Pong can be seen taping a white envelope containing $20,000 inside a drawer in his hotel room.
The double agent would retrieve the cash and tape the SD card to the same place where the money had been left.
Then authorities say Pong returned to the room to pick up the memory card, loaded with harmless American secrets carefully curated by the U.S. government. 2 days later, the FBI believes Pong got on a plane with the SD card and traveled to Beijing, where he would meet with Chinese intelligence officers.
The Chinese are the #1 intelligence threat to the United States right now.
The FBI raided Pong's California home on Friday. He has now been charged with acting as an illegal foreign agent as this covert undercover spy operation lands the American citizen behind bars.
That was Joe Fryer reporting. 17 News is your local election headquarters, and with Election Day 2020 just 399 days away, Bakersfield is getting ready to feel the burn. Presidential candidate Bernie Sanders is coming to town for a college town hall at CSU Bakersfield. His last visit in 2016 drew thousands to the Kern County Fairgrounds. This is a free event, but it is on a first-come, first-served basis, and parking is limited. Town hall starts at 4 o'clock Thursday afternoon inside the CSUB administration quad just south of the Dory Theater. First District Supervisor Mick Gleason doesn't plan to run for re-election. Gleason will finish his second term in office and says it's just time to move on and says he will not be running for another office. His term expires at the end of 2020. Gleason is a retired Navy captain and former Naval Air Weapons Station China Lake commanding officer. He was elected to the board in 2012, and we checked, and so far no one has pulled papers to run for Gleason's 1st District seat. Well, this wedding wasn't rained out, it was snowed out, but still had it turned out to be a great thing as one photographer gets some stunning shots, plus details of today's kickoff event for Camp Out Against Cancer. And it's now Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We're back after the break with your 17 Health Watch and a reminder of what continues to lead to improved survival rates. Welcome back to your 17 Health Watch. Today marks the beginning of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. According to the American Cancer Society, just this year, doctors have diagnosed some 268,000 cases in women in the U.S. alone. But progress in treatment and early detection has led to improved survival rates. The American Cancer Society says there are more than 3.5 million breast cancer survivors in the U.S. today. That's more than any other group of cancer survivors. It is one of Kern County's biggest fundraisers benefiting cancer patients and their families. Camp Out Against Cancer kicks off tonight. The 7th annual Camp Out Against Cancer is actually happening at the Kaiser Sports Village in March. It is the largest fundraiser for the nonprofit Kern County Cancer Fund. But tonight, those who are interested can meet for a dinner at Tony's Pizza on Coffee Road. Teams, volunteers, and cancer survivors will begin organizing for the big fundraising event in the spring. Tonight's kickoff starts at 5 o'clock. All right, let's take a look at your forecast because after a beautiful day yesterday,
yeah, it's beautiful, Alex. We've got temperatures in the 60s right now. 63 degrees in Bakersfield, 64 in Delano, and we've got 50s into the mountains. Frazier Park at 54. We're seeing the same in Tehachapi and lower 60s into the Kern River Valley for Lake Isabella. So temperatures starting off the afternoon are just perfect. It doesn't matter where you go. 64 and clear out in Wasco right now, and then take you out near Arvin. Clear skies, 65, and Golden Hills. You got beautiful conditions and a temperature right now at 64. As we take a look at the satellite and radar, and you can see here clouds offshore, but that is it. Clear skies for the interior part of the state. Even the coastal areas looking very nice this afternoon. I'll tell you, we ended September. Now we start a new water year, and we take a look at Sierra precipitation. The northern Sierra, 137% of normal. The central at 124% of normal. And the southern Sierra look just as nice at 128% of normal. So precipitation amounts looking great up in the Sierra. And the nice thing, if you've noticed, the Kern River here, even through downtown, has a little bit more water in it. It's been nice to see water in the river all winter long and all summer as well. Here's a look at the current situation. We have the trough pushing through right now. That will exit to the east, but another one is developing out of the north. That one rolls in for us as we go out throughout the rest of the week. But then a ridge of high pressure will build back in by the end of the weekend into next week. What does that mean for us? Yeah, there will be a warm-up. Air quality good for today if you're going to be heading out and about. And today we'll be looking at 71 in Bakersfield, Delano, McFarland, 69 in Taft, Maricopa at 67, then for the mountains and the Kern River Valley, 62, Frazier Park, 60 in Tehachapi with upper 60s for the Kern River Valley, Lake Isabella and Kernville at 68. Look for a west-northwest wind, 10 to 15. And then for the desert today, look for sunny skies, 71 in Mojave, mid-70s out of Ridgecrest, and that northwest wind, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's a look at the extended forecast, and we will bump it up 10 degrees tomorrow as the system exits. We'll keep you in the 80s, lower 80s through Friday, and then a little warm up as mentioned Sunday and Monday when we're back into the upper 80s to lower 90s. And then for the mountains, lots of sunshine still on the board, but a pretty good warm up tomorrow. You go from 59 today to 73 tomorrow. Those 70s hang around. In fact, upper 70s by Sunday and Monday for you. I'm expecting it to be a little bit breezy on Friday as well. And then for the Kern River Valley, plenty of sunshine. And then tomorrow, 10-degree warm-up in the upper 70s, 80s Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. But one thing to note here, right near 90 as we round out the weekend. So unfortunately, we are going to see a little bit of a warm-up here. So if you really like the temperatures we're seeing right now, get outside.
Oh, it's just absolutely
good
gorgeous.
Air quality,
yeah.
Clear skies, great temperatures. What more do you want?
I can't complain for the first day of October, and we really just ended September on a great note.
Yeah, I took the dogs for a walk last night, and I was like, this is how I like it.
Oh, it's been perfect. All right, thanks, Scott. Well, it is one tragic case of cyberbullying, and still ahead. It's a story that reinforces the importance of cyber safety and what can happen when kids feel ganged up on.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Welcome back and taking a live look at Wall Street. And as you can see, the Dow Jones kind of having a rough day right now. The Dow is down 279 points. NASDAQ down 75 and the S&P 500 down 32. We'll have final numbers coming up tonight on 17 News at 5. Meantime, checking oil prices, West Texas Intermediate is at $53.68 a barrel, and Midway Sunset at $57.82 a barrel. Well, if you have filled up your tank this week, you've probably noticed you're paying more at the pump. Industry experts say refineries in Northern and Southern California are experiencing technical issues that are forcing them to cut back on production. So, Californians could see their highest prices since 2014. Right now, AAA says the national average for regular gas is $2.66 a gallon. In California, it's $4.07. And in Kern County, the average is $3.95. And according to GasBuddy.com, the lowest price on gas in the Bakersfield area is $3.43. You can find it at the Shell on Ming Avenue in central Bakersfield. To look up gas prices in your neighborhood, head to our website, kget.com, and click on the traffic section. Starting today, riders have to shell out more money before hopping on a Get Bus. A single ride now costs $1.65. That's up 10 cents from the current fare, and a 31-day pass will now cost you about $45. That's up $3. Get Bus says the new prices are part of an incremental fare increase, which will pay for bus improvements. You can find a full list of the fare increases on our website, kget.com. Tejon Ranch is hiring, and job seekers have the opportunity to gain employment at a job fair coming up in Lebec. The Tejon Ranch Commerce Center will have a job fair tomorrow. Some employers include major distributors, including Caterpillar and Dollar General. Plus, local businesses are hiring as well. The fair is happening from 9 a.m. till 2 p.m. at the Petro Shopping Center on Dennis McCarthy Drive. That's off Interstate 5. Across the highway from the outlets at Tejon. Now to a tragic story. Many are calling this social media bullying. Last week, a Tennessee high school student took his own life within hours of being outed online. Now the family of 16-year-old Channing Smith want those responsible to be held accountable. Here's NBC's Kate Snow.
Channing was a human being.
Mourning and outrage in the small community of Manchester, Tennessee.
Our kids are being bullied.
Family and friends gathering last night to remember 16-year-old Channing Smith, discussing how to make sure nothing like this ever happens again.
He didn't deserve what he got, and no one does. No one deserves to be bullied. Enough is enough.
Family members say Channing took his own life last week after screenshots of sexually explicit text messages he sent to a boy in his high school were shared on social media. Channing had not publicly identified as LGBTQ.
They outed him on social media, and he didn't get to tell his story his way.
His big brother Josh thinks he was humiliated and couldn't face going back to school.
I want people to remember Channing and the way he lived, and it's going to be hard because it's mostly probably going to be the story of how he died.
The teenager had just gotten a new job, a new motorcycle, and loved working on cars. He was also a gifted musician, playing multiple instruments. Channing's family hopes the teens who shared the text messages will face consequences.
Social media, that's the new weapon of choice for a lot of these kids, and us as adults, we need to be aware of this.
Friends and supporters of Channing are calling on the district attorney to do more to investigate what happened, pointing out that the DA, Craig Northcott, has spoken out against same-sex marriage in the past. In a statement, the DA says no charging decisions have been made, adding any report that my office has failed or refused to act is inaccurate.
He was a really kind person that you could always go to if you were feeling down.
The high school says it brought in counselors. Some students we talked with concerned that the school hasn't taken bullying seriously enough.
There's nothing getting done about it. The school's not doing anything about it.
It was Kate Snow reporting, and a reminder, we have a section on our website dedicated to cyber safety. You can head to kgt.com and just search for the cyber safe icon. Well, it's one extremely rare wedding shoot. Still had the couple caught in a snowstorm just after they tied the knot, and the photographer who knew what to do with the opportunity. Plus, will it be the Brew Crew or the Nats as the boys in blue wait for their opponent this postseason? We're back as baseball's playoffs are here, as well as find out later tonight who the Dodgers will face. We're back after this. Welcome back. It is officially October, and that means it's time for some postseason baseball. Today, the Dodgers will find out who they're playing in the National League Division Series. Here's a look at the postseason bracket. The Dodgers are set to play their first game in the NLDS on Thursday, but they aren't sure who they're playing yet. That team will be decided in the wild card game today. The Milwaukee Brewers will face off with the Washington Nationals for a one-game series. It is a make-or-break game. The winner will face the Dodgers in Los Angeles on Thursday. You can catch the wild card game at 5 o'clock tonight on TBS. All right, when we return here on 17 News at noon, it was indeed a nice day for a white wedding captured on camera when Old Man Winter flexes his muscles. When a Los Angeles police officer captured a homeless woman singing in a subway station, the video went viral after the police department tweeted it, and the reaction from a lot of people was, "Wow." Yeah, exactly. And of course, this launched a search for the woman with the haunting voice. The police department posted the video with the caption, 4 million people call LA home, 4 million stories, 4 million voices. Sometimes you just have to stop and listen to one to hear something beautiful. Unbelievable story.
And I think this is an example of, some people are just down on their luck. And, they don't choose to, not everybody chooses to be homeless. Some people are just down on their luck. And look at this woman. She's got such a beautiful talent. She should be putting it,
it was
in an
unbelievable.
opera house.
Oh, for sure. It was unbelievable to hear. Wow. And an early snowstorm turns a fall wedding shoot into a winter wonderland. I thought you'd like to look at this.
We talked about Montana going to get the snow, but this wasn't even Montana, I don't think. This was out of the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, Sean and Brittany Toohey were celebrating their wedding on Mount Spokane in Washington State over the weekend when the storm rolled in. Kevin knows all about this storm. And instead of canceling plans for an outdoor shoot, the couple just embraced the winter weather and had their pictures taken outside. The shoot lasted a mere 10 minutes, but in that time, the photographer captured these one-of-a-kind photos. It doesn't even look like they're cold.
Oh, she does. Look at her. You missed it. She was like, her hands were
gripping.
Yes.
But what an unbelievable photo shoot.
Yeah, and that storm was huge up in Spokane and moved east into Montana.
All right. We'll see you back here for the news at 5.
17 News, your local news leader, continues 24 hours a day on KGET.com and our 17 News app. In the spirit of the Golden Empire, 17 News.